Welcome into the LFC transfer room. Red or dead, number 6 ahead of the match between Fulham and Liverpool on Sunday. Myself, Jack Edwards, hosting. To my right, Ritchie, the 2-time defending champion. And for the first time in Red or Dead history, we have a non-Liverpool fan. We've got Jack Collins from Ranks FC. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Jack. Thank you for having me on. It's feels like, Fulham representation on here is nice, but it's nice to be back on an LFC transfer room again.
Yeah, and Ritchie, you are defending champion, obviously, against some fresh blood. How are you feeling?
We've hosted a podcast together, so I know Jack's football knowledge is superior. So, yeah, a bit edgy on this one.
Well, we'll see if he's going to be able to retain his crown. So just to outline the rules real quick, it's going to be 5 questions, most likely, unless someone absolutely sweeps it away. Between Liverpool and Fulham, so you can either choose to be red or you can choose to be dead. And Jack, I'm sorry, you're going to have to choose.
I won't take offense. I'll use it's your show. I use your terminology.
So you choose red or dead. You argue that point, and the big important one is it's not which opinion is correct, because there could be correct opinions for some of these. It's which one is argued better in the 30 seconds. So we flipped a coin beforehand, and it turned out that Ritchie won that. Chose to go second. So this first question, I'm going to phrase to you, Jack. Roberto Firmino or Alexander Mitrović, who would score more goals in a 38-match season as Liverpool's number 9? Are you red or are you dead?
Dead.
You're going Mitrović. Ritchie, you're going to have to argue why Bobby Firmino would score more goals as a number 9 for Liverpool, 38-match season. Are you ready?
I think so. I think I was hoping Jack would choose red actually there, but yeah.
It's not going to be the first time you're going to say Jack, and I'm going to be really confused why you're not talking about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anyways, no, you're good. We're going to jump in. I'm going to get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so this season, Roberto Firmino has featured 27 times for Liverpool, scoring 6 goals and 5 assists. Goals is not just about Firmino's game, but he does chip in with the odd occasion. We know that he's not been on form recently, but still his expected goals is quite high in that Liverpool squad. We know that Mitrović is powerful in the air. However, Firmino has the skill, he has the flair. He's also good in the air, and he just brings the Liverpool team together.
With 8 seconds to go, you have 8 seconds left.
Short, sharp, concise. Doesn't even need the face. Yeah. He's dropping like 64 bar phrases in short time. It's like I'm firing the booth out.
It's
always afraid to get cut off.
I'm always afraid to get cut off because I'm like, damn it.
So 22 seconds. Didn't even need the full 30. Jack, how you feeling?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. 30 seconds. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, the thing is with Mitrović is that in this Fulham side, he hasn't actually got the service in the Premier League. In the Championship, Fulham slung in a load of crosses and Mitrović was Championship top scorer with 27 goals. Now, Liverpool are an incredibly good football team, and they possess 2 of the most dynamic slinging crosses in fullbacks in world football in Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I just think that they're so cohesive as a side that they would play to Mitrovic's strengths, and that would give him just way too much ammunition to not outscore Bobby Firmino, who we've seen not do too much.
His ball knowledge is very good, Ritchie. You did not lie.
I know. I love the spin on the wing backs as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's always Jack. It's always tough for me having to pick who gets the point. It's more difficult. I was in the first 3 of these. I won 3 of the first 3.
Just throw that in.
It's a quiet, humble brag. I like it.
Ritchie's chasing down my record, so if there's a bit of favoritism to you, maybe that's related. Ritchie, you did a really good job, even in 22 seconds. If it had just been like a poor, you limped to 22 seconds, but it was a strong first 22. We got a bit of rhyming in there. He's good in the air. He's got the flair. But I'm going to give the newcomer the point on this one. I love the point on the fullbacks. I think that it would actually be nice to see Trent and Andrew Robertson cross it into a player who's not 5'10" and not that great. So congratulations, Jack.
Thanks very much. To be fair, I'd actually love to see Mitrović in this Liverpool team. I mean, he's not getting the games at Fulham, so maybe this is the answer. You actually need to just splurge on big Mitro.
Maybe that's the move. Jurgen, you listening? All right, Ritchie, it is now your choice. You're down 1-0. You choose on this one. So this one is going to be a bit of an interesting question. It may turn out not how I expected it to, but Harvey Elliott recently made the move from Fulham to Liverpool. He's currently on loan with Blackburn in the Championship. would he have been better served for his development staying at Fulham and potentially playing in the Premier League right now, or was it the right move to go to Liverpool? Are you red or are you dead?
I'm going to stick red.
Stick red. That means, Jack, you're going to argue this one first. Why should Harvey Elliott not have left? And should he have stayed at Fulham? You ready?
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
I think obviously you've got to say that the Premier League football is going to be more productive than Championship football. Harvey Elliott's having a brilliant season at Blackburn. I think you would say that considering they're challenging top 6 in the Championship, or have been for long periods, that he would have been able to be a lower end Premier League player. Given Fulham's development, we've seen Ryan Sessegnon, for example, come through and really shine this team, and Parker's commitment to youth. I think Harvey Elliott would have probably shone at Fulham this season.
With 5 seconds to go, he's following in Richie's footsteps. Nice argument there. Ritchie, why he made the correct call in moving to Liverpool. You ready? I'm going to get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the main argument really is, for me, is he's got Jurgen Klopp guiding him, the best manager in the world. Also, Jurgen Klopp, a massive fan of youth. We've seen him bring through Trent Alexander-Arnold and Curtis Jones to really good effect. He's not going to throw in Elliott when he's not ready, and that might be the case in Fulham, because Elliott is, somebody who would start for Fulham, not necessarily for Liverpool, and he needs to make sure that he is getting consistent game time. But the main argument really is, under Klopp and Linders, he's going to develop far better than anywhere else in the world with the academy and the brand new training complex in Kirkby.
Time.
Well, that was beautifully on time. This is a seasoned pro, real nice.
The 8 seconds under are exactly on time. He knows exactly how long his points take to make.
Yeah, I'm a rambler. I'm in trouble here. The 30-second rule I didn't clock.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's really hard. It's hard for 30 seconds.
It's definitely the biggest challenge, isn't it? Because you can be great at giving about a minute and a half argument, but if you can't tighten it up.
Tighten it up. It's really nice.
It's so tough. It's so tough because there's not going to be bad arguments. We're not going to bring on people here who are bad at this kind of stuff. Ritchie, I just think that was a very well argued point by Ritchie. I want to bring it 1-1, not just for the entertainment factor and making sure that it doesn't get it's not a blowout.
It's one of those really annoying ones where as soon as you said it, I was like, he's 100% obviously made the right move. Like, it's well annoying, but like, he had to just make the right move. And I was like,
I remember
that's the trick, isn't it? Arguing points that you don't necessarily agree with is tough, but it's fun. It's tough.
It was in the Sheffield United one. That was against you, Ritchie, where you had to argue why the Greasy Chip Butter song was better than You'll Never Walk Alone. Which
I could have done that, I think.
I just was British, going through it, but yeah, that was difficult.
So 1-1. It's a good competition here. So these next 2 questions are going to be our favorite thing, VAR related. I can see Jack's excited about this. So it's your choice again, Jack.
Yeah.
Last year, when I think back about this one, meeting between these 2 sides in December, there was a penalty review that was rejected by Andre Mariner following a challenge by Fabinho on Ivan Caballero, 16th minute. Match ended up being 1-1. That call, if you can recall it, Jack, was that the correct call? So red is incorrect call, or dead, it was the incorrect call.
Dead.
That was a quick one. Ritchie, you're going to argue your favorite choice, probably red. Are you ready to argue why that was the correct choice?
Yeah, and I've got to make VAR, and I've got to be an advocate of VAR now as well, haven't I?
That's right. You can flip this on me in about 20 seconds, I'd imagine.
I don't know.
All right. I'm going to get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so obviously VAR, we are in the age where technology now is taking over football. And in the age of VAR, there are no wrong decisions because we can replay things over and over again. It didn't really impact the result, something that happened so early in the 16th minute. It doesn't shape the game necessarily in the 16th minute. So again, we don't just have one look. It can't just be one mistake. Clear and obvious is clear and obvious, so it wasn't overturned. And it's one of those ideas that it can't be wrong if we look at it 12 million times that we seem to.
Time. Wow. You are good at that time factor. Jack, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with this one, I think.
I like the confidence. I always say I'm going to get you going. I watched back the last one. Every time I tee up you guys, I'm like, I'm going to get you going. So I'm going to get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, that tackle, if you look at it, he's had to go underneath the foot of Cavaleiro and then come back up on the other side to knock the ball out of play. Now, look, I am aware that you can have tackles where you take man and ball at the same time, but there's like physically no way, I don't think, that you can look at that tackle and think, if it was given the other way, it would have been overturned. He has gone through player to get to the ball. Now, I agree with Rich. I don't think it changes the result, but I don't think that means that the decision itself was correct. It was wrong.
Time. You guys are getting good at this. Maybe a second early.
Finding some rhythm. It's okay. We're good.
Exactly. Tough again, as always. I believe I gave you a point for this, Richie, in the past, where I'll spoil it. I'm giving Jack the point on this one. And rationale is he listened to your argument and he took it apart a little bit. And you said there are no wrong decisions. That hurt.
I think we're all feeling that lie after yesterday, eh?
Absolutely.
So we're gonna do another VAR question. This time, Richie, you get to make the choice on this one if you want to be pro, anti. It's a bit less VAR versus non-VAR, but so there have been 2 handballs in recent matches, both between these two sides and in recent matches. There was a handball that got the equalizing penalty in the last one. I forget who it was. I completely spaced who it was.
Yeah, it's a Boubacar Kamara. Give you it for free.
Oh, look at Jack backing me up here. So Kamara with that handball, or the handball that disallowed the goal for Josh Maja in their last match against Spurs. Which decision was worse? Red being the choice of Maja. This is poorly worded for red or dead, but I'll say then the handball that disallowed the Maja goal against Spurs, or the handball that gave it for the penalty against Fulham last time. Have I phrased that properly for you, Richie?
Right, I'm going to say that the penalty against Fulham was wrong.
So you're going dead.
I'm planning to stand dead, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to argue, Jack, why the Maja handball that disallowed their goal against Spurs was was the worst one. So it wasn't if it was right or wrong. It was just worse than the other one.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go.
All right. Glad that we're on the same page. That was poorly worded. My apologies for that. All right. 30 seconds. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm going to have you go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Boubacar Kamara jumps and his hands are outside of his body. They are literally in the air. It's not a great look, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I genuinely, when it got given, I was like, that's probably a penalty. When the match decision got given yesterday, I absolutely nearly put the TV through. He moves his hand away, that comes off his hip, and Fulham score a goal. And it just doesn't matter. In fact, it was such a bad call that the IFAB have changed the rule book today on the back of the fact that that thing was there that was ruled out. So I'm going to go Maja 100%.
Time. Richie?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
I was listening and I was like, this is a pressure point now. Because
it is. Down 2-1. Need to get the point here.
Yes.
Arguing the handball penalty worse than the Maja one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Go.
So obviously, Kamara cannot move out of the way. He's in the wall when Gini Wijnaldum hits the free kick. There's nowhere that his hands can go. It wasn't anything that he could do. He is literally stuck in like a pencil. The fact that he can't move and the fact that the ball comes at him so directly from a free kick, there isn't anywhere he can put his hands. He can't move it to the side because of the players each side. And I think it's one of those that the penalty was incorrect purely because the ball wasn't going in the goal anyway as well, and that's something else that we seem to lose grasp of. So it wasn't a penalty. Ran out of time. See, I hate it. I can't get the final point.
You're building up to the big one.
It's so tough. It's so tough trying to pick a winner in these. I think I'm going to expose myself as a content merchant. I'm going to give it to Richie so we can get to number 5. I think that was tremendously argued by you, Jack. But I think what pushed you over the edge was the pencil illustration from Richie. I loved that.
It's good to learn your kind of things, Jack. I'm learning that you are a physical. You'd like to see some physical demonstrations in those arguments. So we'll make sure that comes in on the next one.
All right. So we're going to flip another coin to determine who gets to pick or who gets their choice. So I'm going to give the coin toss again to Ritchie as the defending champion. I'm assuming you're going to pick heads.
Yes, heads for the Reds, mate.
Flip a coin. It has failed you this time. It's tails. So, Jack, would you like to get the choice for this one?
I'll have the choice, yeah.
So, I think it wouldn't matter actually, because I think Ritchie loves to hand off the choice regardless.
Yeah, I would have picked second, yeah.
So, your choice, Jack. On Sunday, who will win? Liverpool or Fulham? Are you red or are you dead?
Red.
Ritchie, that means you got to argue why Fulham are going to beat Liverpool on Sunday. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
So if we're going on form, Fulham are actually on better form than Liverpool at the moment. Also, you're looking at injury problems. It was announced today that Ozan Kabak, another centre-back, has been injured during last night's game. So we're now looking at 21 different centre-back pairings. Again, we're looking at probably bringing Fabinho in. Davis is fit. It looks like it's going to be Davis and Fabinho for our 21st. Mitrović is also fit. Mitrović is going to bully a championship defender in Davis. Fulham also have lots and lots of shots, but at the same time, they are quite stoic defensively as well.
I love how you mentioned earlier, Ritchie, that you love to slander your own players, calling Davies a championship level defender.
I love Ben Davies. I genuinely think he's really good. I think it's really clever little signing.
When we bought him, we obviously did the podcast on the January transfers, and I was like, Ben Davies is going to be a revelation.
And it's March 5th now.
How the tables turn on you.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
All right, let's do it.
To argue why Liverpool are going to beat Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds in 3, 2, 1, go.
Liverpool are in terrible form. Let's be quite frank about it. But also, 85 shots in the last 5 home games, no goals from open play. The dam has to break at some point, and I'm terrified that it's going to break this weekend. As Neil Jackson said to me earlier, someone's going to get done, and I have a really horrible, sickening feeling that it's going to be Fulham. The amount of talent on show, the caliber here, I just think that Liverpool get this over the line.
And with 5 seconds to go, he ends it off. How are you guys feeling? Last argument's made.
I actually think it's going to be a draw. So it's like one of those weird games. You're like, all right, cool. Like, we're stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm an American. I cannot condone a draw. We do not like draws in the States.
You go into the 5th overtime in a basketball game. You're like, can we just call it, lads? Like, everyone's knackered.
We have to determine a winner in the 5 questions. But it's tough. I would love to just go with your call, Jack, and just say, all right.
I meant more in the game rather than
okay. I was like an idiot. I was completely misinterpreting what you were saying.
Well, that's what I would have been okay with both, to be honest.
Okay, so no draw. My American joke falls flat now that I understand the full context. You know what? For slandering his own player so harshly, I'm going to give Ritchie his 3rd win in a row, tying my record. And Jack, I don't mean to bully the newcomer.
No, fantastic. Fantastic. I thought that was well argued as well. I enjoyed the idea, especially because I don't think Mitrović will play. That was my favourite bit of the entire.
Like I said, I saw the because I write the match previews. I was like, Mitrović. I saw something like Mitrović could come back in contention after like being a substitute. So I was like, just go with it, Mitrović bully.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it loads.
Mate, Kabak again. Like today, the news came out he was injured. I was like, this can't. It's just unreal.
No, it's silly, isn't it? I was talking to a Sheffield United fan about their injury crisis, and it has been. Their one's been absolutely awful as well as centre back. As bad. I'd say as bad, not worse, but as bad. But I think the thing with Liverpool is that it's not only thrown out your centre back partnerships, but it's now thrown out your centre midfield partnership, and there is literally no cohesion anywhere, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United, you could argue that that's a worse injury crisis because they have just less depth than Liverpool. But I think what's so fascinating about Liverpool is that it's all in the center back areas. It's amazing.
Bizarre, isn't it? Bizarre.
Gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. And Jack, I know you made the trip to the channel and I gave you an L. You're 0-1 now, but I really appreciate your time.
No, thank you for having me. It was great. I love that.
Yeah. No, Ritchie, you're 3-time champion now. 3-time. You said you were gonna struggle to match me, but you've done it. He's gonna be defending his crown for their next match. But for myself, Jack, you can get all of our ads below. Make sure to subscribe. Liverpool Transfer Room videos coming up ahead of the Fulham match this weekend. You can get Jack all his socials down below. But for all of us, that was Transfer Room. Good rest of your day. Take care.